original choice was a paperback book. Paperback because I tried buying it in Kindle version, but back in India my Kindle has like Indian account and Kindle version is not available. And then I thought I will buy a paperback book which is like everywhere in Canada, even in like normal grocery stores like superstores. But now that I want to buy it, I cannot find it anywhere, and I have gone to 2 stores before, could not find it. Now I'm here at Indigo. I should be able to find that, but does not look like so because there's the section. All the Colleen Hoover books are here except the one that I want. There is always this like TikTok section in Indigo stores that I'm going to check out, and I really hope wahan pe mil jaye. Let's go. So beautiful and must be so expensive, but wow. I just wish George R.R. Martin finishes up the whole Game of Thrones Song of Ice and Fire series so that I can read it. Find it in fiction, general fiction. This one I want. It ends with us. It starts with us is the sequel. It is there, right? 117 books available. TikTok. See?
H.
Finally, I got the book. Do you think I should buy the sequel as well?
Sure.
What if I just don't like it?
You start with us, and then
The first one is It Ends With Us. The author wrote the book and nobody knew about it for a long time, but during the COVID era this just shot up and now it's just like best selling. It has been, all the Colleen Hoover books are now on the NY Times bestseller list.
you should get both.
It's gonna be $40. It's gonna be like half of my grocery for the week.
We won't eat for a week.
I won't eat for a week and read this and talk about it.
Yes.
Subscribe for that. I think I got a little crazy at the bookstore, but considering this is like the beginning of my reading for 2023, I think it is fine. And I have 0 books here in Canada with me, okay? I brought 1 book from India and nothing else. Of course, my Kindle. I do have a lot of books on my Kindle, but paperbacks. So I ended up getting these 2 books. This is why I was there, you know. It Ends With Us and It Starts With Us. I also ended up getting The Wheel of Time book 1 by Robert Jordan. Apart from that, my husband finally ended up getting this Fairy Tale by Stephen King. 10 pages in, I am interested. I got a lot of comments and a lot of very opposing views about this book from a lot of you guys who commented on my community post. I'm just excited. I just want to know what's in this book, okay? About 15 pages done with this book, and it is funny. The conversations that I am reading about right now are funny. At the same time, there are some heavy themes in the book. For example, this girl, she has just lost her father and she has conflicted emotions about it. And she also talks of suicide a little bit. She is not suicidal, but you know, there is mention of suicide. So trigger warning there. But yes, so far I've been liking it. I just want to continue reading and see how it goes. So yesterday I was able to finish about 40 pages of this book, and today I plan to read a lot. So a little bit about my schedule these days. I am working a 9 to 5 job here in Canada, but it is my 2-week holidays that are going on. I go back to work on 3rd of Jan. So until then, I am free to read as much as I can. But the thing about holidays is that most of the times you end up reading nothing. I am trying to change that for myself. That is why I am reading this. So yeah, let's get back to it. So Lily, our main character, actually wants to open up a shop. She wants to become an entrepreneur, have her own shop, florist shop. And now this new character comes in, Alyssa, who is like this rich girl, and she just walks in and she's like, I want to help. And it's just like very funny what happens afterwards and kind of unbelievable, but I can totally believe that this might have happened. And then Lily gets hurt, and now Alyssa is calling her husband and brother. And I totally know who the brother is because he is the guy, definitely the guy. I haven't read it yet, but he's definitely the guy she met on the terrace. I know, I'm so smart.
No, I'm so happy that I found out you were nothing but a fake clone, and I can say it out loud.
So when it comes to characters, we have Lily and Ryle. Ryle now happens to be the brother of Alyssa, who is now Lily's employee for the floral shop. At the same time, you have some diary entries where Lily's basically writing to Ellen from the Ellen show, and she's just like a huge fan of Ellen, and she's just writing diary entries when she was like 15, and she was talking about this guy Atlas. Okay, but I'm just like curious now to see what happened to Atlas. So far good. I can see like a few portions of this are a little disturbing because Lily talks about her abusive father, and right now I just read this scene where her father hit her mother, and that was slightly disturbing and painful to read. So I need to specify the difference between the two things. It's not that the book is bad or something in the book is disturbing, it's just the subject is disturbing. So two are very different things, and I hope I am clearing that out for now. I can't believe what just happened. Okay, let's talk about the characters in the book. There is Lily Bloom, her father is dead. And there is her mother, and Ryle, who is Alyssa's brother. And Alyssa is another character that you'll get to know once you read the book. Now, obviously, there's a romance angle between Ryle and Lily, and they are in a restaurant. And then the other guy that's in the story that you get to read about from the diary entries, Atlas, he shows up, and I'm just like all nerves inside me, all emotions inside me, which also is like, okay, obviously it's a love triangle, but and then it just hits me. I have talked about this book on the channel, and I should have remembered it's a love triangle, but I don't know why it's just hitting me like a shock. But yeah, a lot of emotions inside me. At the same time, a little bit of like, I wouldn't say criticism because I don't really like to use that word. I am not a book critic. Even though a lot of people would like to tag me in that category, I'm just a person who likes to talk about books with the people who like books, okay? One, not criticism, but one thing that I do not like about this is just like how suddenly things jump. And then, I mean, like, yeah, Ryle and Lily, they just meet and suddenly they're like talking about sleeping with one another in the most crass manner. And it was okay. Maybe I thought like that was how the character of Ryle is, and you know, it progresses from there onwards. But now, so she meets Atlas after 9 years, and after a little bit of like a few scenes, just like in the, I mean, like they have one encounter, second encounter, just after a minute than that, like, you know, and then Atlas says, you know, I wish I had met you a year earlier, because he sort of like met another girl, and the conversations are happening. I don't want to give that away, but you know, immediately they're jumping to like this like love part. You guys just met after 9 years. Like, slow down a little bit. Why with both the guys it's just like jumping right over there? Slow down. Alright, I was able to finish about half of this book, and that is saying something because I just started reading it 2 days ago. I could just like watch TV or do anything else, but I want to read. So that is a very good point for this book, and a good point for my reading life as well.
When my mommy said the story, I really had to write it down. It's the best.
It Ends With Us is a book that gave me a lot of imagination to do and a lot of curiosity. And now that I have finished the book, let me talk about what I think about this book. I read this for 3 hours straight yesterday night and finished it. And clearly, if you have been watching the vlog, and I hope you have subscribed and liked this video already, you know that I made a lot of assumptions about the story of this book. But what is the story of this book? This is about Lily Bloom, who is a girl who grew up in an abusive household. But now her life is completely looking good. She is in Boston. She's about to start her own floral shop, and things are looking good for her. She meets Ryle Kincaid, who is a neurosurgeon who looks yummy in scrubs. And he wears scrubs way too often. As in, like, who wears scrubs out of the hospital, right? Isn't that weird? And there's also this guy Atlas, whom Lily helped when she was 15, and he was a homeless guy. This is the life and love story of Lily Bloom. There are certain themes in the book that could be triggers. For example, a major subject of this book is domestic abuse. There's also violence, and there's also mention of rape in this book. Now, let me try to explain what I liked and disliked about the book in a spoiler-free manner without giving you anything about the story for real, so that you can enjoy the book for yourself if you have not read it. If you have read it, do let me know what are your dislikes and likes about this book, okay? First thing I loved about this book is how it has humor. The subject of this book ends up being very serious, right? But it has humor and it is funny at times. For example, Lily says this to Ryle. When I first met you, you were high. Now you're drunk. I am beginning to think you're not going to be a very qualified neurosurgeon. The way it was framed was very funny, even though it might not seem that funny now that I am speaking out this line. But yes, there's a lot of humor in this book, which I really liked. There is also this cute, nice butterflies type romance that I loved. It's a romance novel after all, so it is really good. Now, what I disliked. There are a lot of intimate scenes in the book, and they are presented in a very rough and crass manner. I feel like, in my opinion, this story would have used some nice, steamy, romantic intimate scenes instead of that very rough and very crass type intimate scenes. They are romantic for sure, but they were not the kind of romance I would have liked from this story. So yes, but I feel like it did have some sort of significance in the end if you think about it deeply. But still, I wanted nice steamy romance instead of this rough, crass, bad intimate scenes that I got. But then this is completely my perspective. As I said, it could be something that the author felt was necessary for these characters and for the story where it was going. So no complaints over there, just my personal opinion on what I have disliked. But a lot of you may like, or it may be needed by the story. Depends on what author thinks. Apart from this cringy, intimate stuff, there's also this very scary stuff. Lily is a girl of 15 and she is helping this homeless boy who is of 18 and who is an adult, and this situation could go wrong very quickly because she is a teenager who is very angry and very frustrated at what is happening inside her home. So just reading that part, I had just had my fingers crossed, I needed Lily to be safe here, and that part was scary. There's also this cheesy love part in this book that comes too quickly, as in, Ryle goes from being anti-girlfriend, I never want to have a relationship, I am a one-night stand person, to oh my god, Lily, I love you, he supports her, and he is a completely transformed person. I felt like it was too quick. Mind you, it could have been unbelievable, but that's not the word I will ever use for this. It was just too quick, but it was funny and romantic and sweet. It is now that Atlas is back in Lily's life, when Ryle is also there, that the problems start and the whole things start happening, and you'll have to read the book to know what happens next. I personally loved this book because of the subject and the lesson you get from the book. Most of the romances and thrillers, everything out there is just fluff content. But there are just a few books that come with a lesson, that come with a story that is something that will, hit you deep enough. And this, I believe, is one story of that kind. It also is something I understand how a lot of people now fully understand. Whatever I said previously in the vlogs were my raw emotions from whatever little I had read. But now that I have read the whole book, I understand why people might think it is problematic, because the domestic abuse section of this book, it is presented in a different way, as in most of the people are very quick to judge a domestic abuse victim. Why are you not leaving him? Why are you putting up with it? Leave, walk away, walk out, and all of that stuff. And I believe that is where most of the problems that people might have, I'm just assuming, wild assumptions, should not even do that in a review, but still, that is, I think, the problems people might have had from this book. Because in this book you just see the struggle of a domestic abuse victim, that preaching is easy, but doing so in practice, leaving the person you love, it hurts. It is hurtful. You are always thinking over and over, like, maybe I am wrong in understanding this. Maybe, we can get over this. Maybe things might change. All of those emotions, all of those thoughts, come in, and, you get to see that struggle that a victim might go through. All that reasoning, the love, the hurt part, the deception. And then there's a lot of strength, inner strength needed. And you also need the support of people outside. Just you being very strong might not even be that helpful if all the people around you are advising you otherwise. So all of those things make up a very big portion of this book. It's serious, it is sad, it is disturbing at some levels, but at the same time I felt like this was a story that should have been written, and that should be read. And I really loved how Colleen Hoover, amongst all this, also talked about like the financial independence part in this stuff. Like, as in, for a victim to get out of that situation, a lot of it also depends on the fact that whether you are financially independent or not. So Colleen Hoover has done a great job. This story arose from her personal life struggles, what she has been through. And a lot of characters were based on people from her real life. So, Colleen Hoover has really done a wonderful job at writing this book. It is really good. Overall, I would say it is a good story with a lesson, with a deep lesson. It was written very well, and the characters. You love Lily. Lily is somebody you want to take care of. You just want her to be safe, and you just want her to be happy. And then there is Ryle. You may love him, you may not. There's Atlas. This guy will change what you're thinking about him from the beginning, okay? This guy will change what you feel about him. And there's also Lily's mother. There's also Alyssa. Alyssa is Ryle's sister in the story. And oh my god, she always gave me these vibes of Alice from Twilight, Edward's sister. She's just like, she brings in so much fun, so much of like love and friendship in the book. I loved it, in the story, I mean. And there's also Marshall. Alyssa and Marshall, I mean, like, what a beautiful couple they are. And overall, I loved all of the characters, which is rare when it comes to books. If you don't know about me, if you are watching me for the first time and haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. But I'm a person who always ends up hating the main character, okay? It just happens. But this one, love every single character. And Lily, especially Lily, I love her. And I just would give 4.5 out of 5 stars to this book. This is my first read of 2023. In my first reading vlog of 2023, I plan to do 52 of these reading vlogs, one reading vlog every week that comes up every Saturday. Make sure you're subscribed for more updates about that, and also subscribe to my newsletter for extra content that I might not be able to put up in form of videos, but you will get to know a lot about what I'm reading, what I have read. Like, my recap is coming up next week on Wednesday in my email newsletter. So subscribe right now, it's free. And yes, that is it for this vlog. I really hope you enjoyed watching the vlog and review of this book. Next week I am reading the latest release, which is a sequel of It Ends With Us. It Starts With Us, and I will upload a video very soon discussing this one as well. And yes, thank you so much for watching. This is Manvi signing off. I'll be back with another vlog very soon.
Story, and you're hearing it